excited to talk about your book. It's your debut novel, A Taste for Lies, which I see behind you.
Yes.
S- So, what made you want to become an author?
I feel like it was something I always wanted to do. So it's not really a question of like what made me decide. It's more like, why did I wait for so long to do this? And I think it was just like I've been reading, romantasy really since I was a kid. Since like, I think the earliest I can really remember is like Song of the Lioness Quartet. And I've just really always been a fan. And I think it's just crazy that I didn't do it earlier, that it took like until after I had my son and I like paused from reading. Like I'd always been such a voracious reader, right? But you have kids and I had my son right in the beginning of COVID. So it was just this like really, really tough time. And like a lot of people I think have this story, right, where they find like rediscover their love of reading after they're like coming out of postpartum and this really like difficult time, and they discover this like sense of self again in it and remember these things that they loved. And it was right around that time where I was kind of rediscovering that and loving it, and I thought, okay, like I'm ready, like I'm ready, I'm ready to do it and to go ahead and write that book I've always thought that I would.
That's awesome. And I'm assuming you chose romantasy because that's the genre that you love the most. But did you think about any other genres or did you know it had to be this?
So I actually have a work in progress for contemporary romance, which is like about a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, and I love it. I'm so excited about it. But this story was like hounding me, right? I had to get this one out first. And now that the first book is out, I'm like, okay, now I have to finish the series before I can ever get back to this work in progress. So there will be a contemporary one day, but it's like waiting on the shelf for after this.
Okay, so how I've read A Taste for Lies. How
Yeah.
would you describe it in 10 words?
So actually, an ARC reader came up with the best description of it, and I write it like 10 times a day when I'm self-wrecking on threads, so I can say it pretty fast. But it's Beauty and the Beast meets Bridgerton, but make it a high-stakes fantasy heist. And as soon as she described that, I was like, this is it. This is the description of the book. So that's how I describe it.